Hi, this is Angela Galloway, and this video is going to show you how to navigate around our MyLabs page, and then also just some information about the homework and tests so you kind of know what to expect. So if we're in our Blackboard page here, you would come to the Blackboard page every time you want to work on your assignments and click on the MyLabsPlus login. And so from there, the MyLabsPlus will open in its own window, which is kind of nice because then you can still go back here and, like, if you want to open class notes or whatever, you can have, you know, both of the windows open. Now this is kind of set in the instructor view, so some of these things you won't see, but you should land on this course home page, kind of just a quick information about you know, what the class is and how to get started if you have any questions like doing a browser check, etc. But the calendar and reminders is a spot you might want to go to because it'll kind of have a calendar of what's coming up, and so you know what due dates are happening when. So you will see a page like this, all right? And so I may have some announcements up here. Mainly those announcements actually are going to be like due dates. I put in most of our like class important announcements in Blackboard because you would see that first when you click on it. But up here we'll kind of just have extra due dates that I want you to be aware of. But as you go through here, you can see every time there's a little clock looking symbol, it'll tell you that you've got something due on that date. Down here it tells you when your next due date is. So we're going to have due dates at the end of every week, basically. So it's going to count down to those for you. Now, right now, of course, we're before the semester starts. And next week, really, all you have to do the first week of the semester is that syllabus quiz in Blackboard. So it's saying you have about 2 weeks until that first due date of your Unit 1 homework, okay? And so it shows you right here what's coming up, and so you can click on it from there. And then go into your homework questions straight from there if you want. There's going to be some other ways to get there, but if you do always go to the calendar and reminder section, then, you know, that might be a good place to start, okay? So there's a little tip there, just kind of welcoming you to the class again. But so once we're in the homework, like you see here, when you're working on assignments, I'm going to click forward to one maybe that isn't just like a terminology thing. Okay, something like this, all right, that you're trying to work out. Over here, you'll have some different options to help you through the homework. So there's a Help Me Solve This. That takes you step by step through the problem and works the problem with you. And then it gives you another problem, very similar to the one you were just working, that you can then complete to get credit on the assignment. You can go to video. These videos are not the same as my YouTube videos, but these are ones that come with the textbook, and so they're done by another instructor that's from Pearson. And then you also have the textbook, so if you click on the textbook, it can take you directly to the textbook there, so you can read it that way, you know, as you're working on homework, you can then kind of look through the textbook. Some students like to read through the textbook first, but that's kind of just up to you, you know, what your study habits are. And so it should come up here in a second, maybe. There it goes. Of course, the textbook is a pretty big file, so sometimes it takes a little bit to open. But the e-textbook is going to look just like your paper textbook would. It has all the same pages and everything. Of course, the only difference is this one would be online, but you are allowed to print off pages from the textbook. So if there's certain examples that you really like and want to use, you can print those off. Also, the textbook is nice because it's interactive, so it has example problems that you can work. It has videos you can watch as you're going through it, and so that's nice about it. I'm going to leave it loading for now and we'll come back to it, but that's one of the other examples you can use. You also have the Ask My Instructor option Ask My Instructor is when you can't figure out the problem and you want my help on it. When you click Ask My Instructor, you can type in, whatever the problem is. It's going to send me this screenshot of this exact problem, and I'll be able to answer, from there. This will just send straight to my email, and then I can email you back and say, hey, I saw that problem, and this is what I would do, okay? And so that's helpful to me because I can see the actual problem you're working on, and then I can give you a fairly quick response on that. All right, let's see if my book ever came up here. I don't see it. Maybe we'll get it to come up when I go to one of the other pages. Usually it comes up fairly quickly. I may have too many things running right now. I don't know. So we'll go back here to our calendars and reminders. So you can get a lot of information from there. But if you're coming in, you already kind of know what's due. You can go straight to whatever unit you're working on. Here you see this is Unit 1, and it's all the voting methods. And so right here it tells you what we're going to be studying. It also gives you a place to click right into the e-textbook. So it'll take you straight to the pages that these topics are about. And so when it opens, if it does, it'll be up there and we can look through it, and then you can turn the pages and all that from there. Now if you just want to go to the homework, you can click on this. And then the homework will come up and you'll see everything that's due for this unit. And so you can see as far as homework, we've got 3 different homeworks, and then we have a test. Also, before each of the unit exams, you have to do this study plan here. And working on the study plan basically is like doing a practice test or, like a study guide for the test. You don't have to do all of it, but it says here that you have to get at least 2 mastery points to begin the test, all right? So you can do more of them, but like if oh, I might need some extra help on the Borda method or something else here, then you do these quiz me's. They're just little quick quizzes. And then based on how many you get correct, you will get mastery points, all right? And so it's really supposed to be there as just a tool to help you study. So you can do them as many times as you want. The practice here is more just doing extra homework problems, and then the quiz me would be where you're actually getting those mastery points. Oh look, the book finally decided to open up here. So once you're in the book, then you can go to whatever chapter you're in. All right, so let's say we're actually starting in the last chapter, chapter 16 for Unit 1. But from there, you can arrow over to get different pages, or if you know it's on a certain page, you can type it in here. Anytime you see these, the little globe with, it says you try it there, that's going to give you an example that you can work on that would look like your homework problem, but it's not graded or it's not included in your grade book. It's really just as extra practice. Okay, so you can do that. And then sometimes there's little videos included, kind of just depends on what the topics are, but sometimes you'll see another little graphic, and that would be a video that you can watch straight from there. And so also if you want to, you can, I can find it. Here you've got these little things that you can save your spot, etc. You can make little notes, so making it pretty user-friendly so that kind of like if you did have the real paper book, you're able to write in it or highlight or whatever, and so you can do that kind of stuff there. So you can get to the book by clicking on the sections here. You can get to it from using the help that comes in the homework and going to the textbook. You can also click down here in the chapter contents and get to the textbook. So there's lots of different ways to kind of get to the same location. But with our homework and quizzes, you'll notice that when you open those up, it tells you right away what the due dates are, right? Over here it tells you if there's a time limit or how many attempts you have. For homework, there's no time limit. You can work on it however long it takes you. The attempts, you just keep working on it. So, just however long it takes you. Over here, you would see what your score is. So, if you're halfway through it and you're not sure if you finished or not, you can click on there and see how much that you've done. When you're working on the actual assignment, once you've completed one, it'll have a little green check mark. If you got one incorrect, it'll have a red X. So then as you're looking through here, if you're going back trying to maybe improve your grade, you can go back through and just pick the ones that have red X's and know that those are the ones you need to work on. For test, you do have 2 attempts. Only the highest attempt will be counted in your overall grade. So if you do it once and you get a 95, then you're good. You don't have to do it again. You can do it twice if you want, but that's kind of just up to you. So if you do it twice and you get a 40% on one of them and an 85% on the other, then the only thing that the grade book's going to see is the 85%. Okay, so you can kind of use one of them as like a practice and one of them as a real test. They're the same test, but the questions are pooled, so you may get something a little different. A lot of times it's just the numbers changed a little bit or the situation, but they're going to be very similar, same length and all that stuff. All right, so those are the different units, how you're going to get to your homework and quizzes. You can always work ahead if you would like. Everything's open right now, so if you do get ahead, like maybe over spring break, once you finish your midterm, you can go right ahead and start into Unit 3 if you want to. Whatever, whatever's good for you. So down here, just some extra things you can use. This is a place you can go to find different videos, anything that has to do with the topic. So you could put in your chapter. So we're doing voting, and you can just say all there and say find now. And what it's going to do is it's going to print out everything that's included in the book that talks about these sections. So here it's got the textbook. There are actually some PowerPoints. Those mainly are just kind of terminology stuff, but they may be helpful to you. Video lectures, so these are things that come from the book again, so not my video lectures, but just more stuff. So there's so much information in here to help you study. So you may not need all of it. You may just use my lecture videos and that's good enough, right? But you might use my videos, my notes, the textbook, their videos. You may want that extra information, okay, and that might help you learn better, but it's really just up to you. So I don't require you to study in a certain way, okay? You kind of just choose on your own what's going to help you the best. We got tools for success here. This is pretty neat. Some of these are pretty cool. They might be things you want to print off or something, but they're different, like review cards or quick reference cards. This one is an algebra review, there's some stuff for the calculator, etc. So just another helpful tool that you can find there. And then this study plan, again, is similar to what you saw with, what you have to do before you take a test. But this you can actually do at any time if you just feel like you need some extra help. It doesn't have to just be right before the test. But if you've done all the voting homework in 16.1 and you just feel like you still need maybe a few more practice problems, you can go here and choose some of those, and you can go ahead and do the quiz me, and you're trying to just get to 2 mastery points. Once you get past that, then you show that you've kind of studied enough that you can get into the test. So if you haven't done those points, then you can't take the test, all right? So you have to complete at least 2 of those before you can get into the test. All right, so that is kind of a quick review. I don't know if it was quick, but it was a review of our MyLabs page. So remember, to get to there, you're going to Blackboard, and then you're clicking into the MyLabsPlus link. And this is where pretty much all of our assignments are. The only thing that won't be in this location is the projects. We have 2 projects. They're called projects, but they're really more just like a worksheet, that you kind of go through over a certain topic. But one is right before spring break and one is before the end of the semester. Those will both be loaded in Blackboard. You can find some more information about that in the syllabus. And then the other thing is the syllabus quiz, which is due the first week of the semester. Okay, so make sure that you locate that and complete it. Okay, but everything else will be in the My Math Lab. Your grade book will be there. The nice thing about that is that you don't have to wait on me to grade anything. So you'll have all your grades here. You can do this show calculation here, and it'll tell you what your homework grade is, your quiz grade, and your test, so you can kind of see how you're doing. You can see the breakdown of what the percentages are for your grade calculation in the syllabus also. So that kind of tells you, what's worth what percent in the class, okay? So as always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, email me, stop by my office, give me a phone call, whatever's best for you. And I know that you're going to have a successful semester in this Math 146 class because I'm here to help you however I can. And I know that you're going to put in a lot of time and effort to make sure that you are successful in the class, all right? But if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me because that's what I'm here for, all right? You're paying me to help you make it through this class, and I want to make sure you're getting your money's worth, all right? So hopefully I'll be talking to you all soon, and we're going to have a great semester. Thanks.